Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again after Newcastle United have a very routine day at the office and walk out a very comfortable 2-0 winners over Burnley at St James's Park. And now, obviously, it clears the way for the return of the Champions League. However, a pretty unremarkable game. I know the goal for Miggy was absolutely fucking different class. It's great to see him go on a run, start to get a few goals. He likes to go on these run of games where he's scoring left, right, and centre. Long may that continue. But yeah, very much just a standard day, a bit of a walkout, a bit of a breeze, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit more in the terms of football and style and play and really trying to take us on from Burnley. But it was a very much an old school Burnley approach, literally just trying to hoof the ball and hoist it. Long, constantly trying to look to exploit Dan Burn, who's, he's like a fucking beanpole, isn't he? Huge. Slightly disappointed by them, in all honesty, but yeah, we were very, 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 very good. We were good. We were decent for the 2-0. It could have easily been 3-4 or 5, and I don't think that Vincent Kompany and Burnley would have had any complaints, to be honest, about it all. Yeah, we had ones what cleared off the line. We came close on several occasions, and they just didn't really have a go. And you would think in their position, desperate for points, winless so far this season, why not go and have a right go? And if you lose, you lose, but you just never know. And Newcastle United with one eye on obviously the Champions League, they had a huge night and performance against Manchester City in the League Cup prior to that. So why not just give it a go? Why not just take them on? I mean, they were decent for the first sort of opening, 5-10 minutes or so, beginning of the game. They had a little bit of something, but yeah, I don't think anybody from Newcastle United, any supporter of Newcastle United, looking at that one, had any sort of worries or complaints or, sort of a dodgy stomach about what might happen on the day. Yes, there's a massive game coming ahead. Yes, we've got injuries and stuff like that. But one of the real positives, I think, about this season, and I know there's been a few issues and there's been the Brighton game and the likes, but this season compared to last, one way that you would say that it has been a definite step up is when you look at games like last season where we threw away far too many when there were teams who just sat back and did fuck all, and it ended up being like a draw, a 0-0, a 1-1, that sort of thing. This game last season could have well been a 0-0. It could have been one of those sort of painful afternoons where just nothing really happens, nothing much happens, and you're going through the motions. This season, it's good to see them, turn up, and despite not playing the best football, despite probably being in only second or third gear, they still got the points, and that's what the record books will show at the end of the season. If we can do that, like I say, we must have thrown away a good 5, 6, 7 games last season, dropped 2 points and only getting a point out of it. And it was so frustrating, and it probably cost us from finishing even higher, in the league. I know we can't complain about last season; it was absolutely fucking fantastic. But if you turn a couple of those frustrating draws into wins, and you're certainly getting third if you're not pushing up even higher in the league, it's absolutely fucking mind blowing when you think about it. But this season, we turned up. We're not going through the motions without getting the points. You know what I mean? So it's literally. It's good to see that extra drive, that extra determination, despite the additional games, despite the European travel, despite the glamour tie on the horizon. Newcastle United got it done. You only have to look at the likes of Manchester United against Crystal Palace. They've got Champions League games coming up, and then the game beforehand, they end up slipping up at home to Crystal Palace and losing 1-0. It could have been one of those sort of games for Newcastle United, but the mentality, the application, the hunger, the desire from the coaches and from the lads, the players, is absolutely and utterly fantastic. So yeah, I was delighted. I mean, what a fucking goal by Miggy. like I touched on before, when he gets one, he generally goes on a run. So fingers crossed for the games that are coming up. But not just that, his work rate is absolutely off the charts, is absolutely fantastic. Such an engine, such a machine. But to score that sort of goal, and Burnley, they've only got themselves to fucking blame at the end of the day, to be honest. Because when you're looking at it, when you're analysing it, you know that that's Miggy's. That's his like signature move. That's his signature statement sort of thing. And as soon as he gets the ball and he cuts in, they were sort of inviting him to have a shot on his favoured foot, and that he did. And I don't care which keeper you are, no matter who you are, no fucker is saving that one. Top corner, beautiful goal. But if you'd have done any research on Miggy Almiron, then you would know that's the sort of goal that he likes to attempt. That's the sort of movement that he likes to take. He likes to be on his left foot. So you would show him onto his right foot, but there was none of that. There was a little bit of naivety. I was a little bit surprised by that, but I'm taking nothing away from the goal. Absolutely stunning fucking goal. Maybe his best in a Newcastle United shirt. Let me know down below if you think that's his best goal, Miggy Almiron, for Newcastle United. But such a different player under this manager as the previous, the previous incumbent, the previous person in the hot seat. Yeah, it's delightful to see. He just plays it in the right way, doesn't he? He just, such a smile on him all the time. He plays the game in the right way. And I mean, there's not a nasty bone in the bloke. I mean, everybody loves Miggy Almiron, and yeah, fingers crossed his run just keeps on going. It would be lovely if you could score one of them, perhaps against PSG in the Champions League coming up next week. Cannot fucking wait for that one. This is what I mean about it's on the horizon, and as much as you don't want it to be a distraction, it definitely is. So it makes it even better. Like I say, Newcastle United at half-time, we should have been out of sight. It should have been a fucking cricket score. It wasn't. It was one of those days. Eddie Howe must have been sort of possibly be fearing slightly the worst. You didn't have the options. You've not got your Callum Wilsons to be able to bring on. But Newcastle United, we just kept chugging away, chopping away, working through, making the passes. Longstaff, absolutely fantastic. Bruno, seems to be back to vintage Bruno, doesn't he? Newcastle United, the machine just keeps on working. And eventually we get some sort of reward. Anthony Gordon, fantastic again, who had picked up his 5th yellow card as well in this game, so he's going to miss a game, which is frustrating with the amount of injuries that we've got to pick up something, so fucking daft, kicking the ball away. But Anthony Gordon goes in, we get the penalty. Again, some fucktardery about who's going to be taking the penalty kick and stuff. Love it. Love shithousing, as you well know. I love it when Newcastle United do a little bit of shithousing. Eventually, Isak takes it. It was going to be Isak all the time, wasn't it? Up, cool as you like. Didn't have his best game, Isak. Again, was another one of the players struggling on the lead up to the match with a bit of an issue, a bit of a knock, bit of an injury, but cool as you like, slams it home. And, if this is sort of Alexander Isak in injured mode, imagine when he's going to get back to full fitness and stuff like that. The fucking league will be shitting themselves, no doubt about it. But yeah, great penalty. That's now 12 penalty kicks we have scored in a row, which is absolutely fantastic. Newcastle United saw the game out. We could have scored even more, even right through to the end. There was opportunities, good opportunities where we should have scored. We didn't, but look, hallmark of a good team, not playing at their best, but still get the points and are still comfortably above the opposition. So yeah, we saw it out. Again, a slight cloud, another injury in the second half. Big Joe comes on. 3 minutes later, Big Joe goes off. Hamstring. Fucking marvellous. When it rains, it absolutely bastard pours. And we seem to be getting all the injuries in just certain areas. And if you're looking at the injury league table, I think that puts us up to 9. Chelsea's at the top on 12. But there is a lot of players in the Premier League at the moment out with injuries. It's concerning. There's a huge debate around workload, how many minutes the players are being asked to play, so on and so forth. Something needs looking into. But obviously, while the money's all big, The pressures are all big. It's going to continue on like this, isn't it? And thankfully, so far, most of the injuries, I know Harvey Barnes is going to be out until next year, but most of the other injuries that we've got are probably going to be a couple of weeks, and they should be back immediately after the international break. So perhaps not available for the PSG game, perhaps not available for the West Ham game that follows, but then given, you know, the break that we have, hopefully the likes of Sven Botman will be back. Hopefully the likes of Callum Wilson will be back. Joe Willock isn't a million miles away. He's out on the grass doing work with the sports scientists, which is fantastic news. And again, we're probably looking for another couple of weeks before he's back on and back out on the pitches with Eddie Howe and the rest of the coaching team, looking to up his return from injury. He's been injured since May. But yeah, most of the injuries we've got now, you know, a couple of weeks, and they should be A-OK to come back in. And again, just like last time when the international break come at a great time for us, because obviously we've just been absolutely fucking mullered by Brighton. The break came at a good time. I think the break comes at a good time again for us because, like I said, the squad is getting stretched. Jamal Lascelles came in, and again, captain's performance, it's not getting said enough about the lad, to be honest. Come in, great performance, and every time generally he does come in, he doesn't let anybody down. I know I heard a couple of people complaining about a few hospital balls and this, that and the other, but look, as an understudy to the likes of Sven Botman, I don't think you're going to find many who are happy to sit on the bench and then bide their time and be as professional as Jamal Lascelles. I thought he was decent yesterday, and we're going to need him over the next couple of matches until Sven Botman is back. But yeah, hopefully by the time this international break has come, fucking great, innit? International football back. Borefest, but yeah, for Newcastle United, it's going to benefit us because we will get some of these players back, and for the others who can't quite make it straight after the international break, they're not going to be a million miles away, so that's good. And then we'll just pick it up and move on again. So yeah, we'll have a preview for the Paris Saint-Germain Champions League game coming up probably on Tuesday. But obviously I thought I'd just try and do a quick review of the Burnley game. Like I say, standard second, third gear type job. Nothing particularly exciting or fantastic apart from Miggy's goal. But yeah, we get the job done. We get the points. We keep our 8th position in the league. And if it wasn't for that shenanigans in the Liverpool game, where would we be? We'd probably be 3rd in the table at the moment. So it goes to show you it's been some comeback, some fight back. We're keeping clean sheets. Eddie Howe will be over the moon about that, no doubt about it. What's that, 5 clean sheets in a row now? We're scoring goals and we're winning even when we're not at our champagne, free-flowing best. That is always the hallmarks of a great side. Great manager, great players, great support, great noise. Now I can't wait for the greatest competition on the planet to come back round. A return of the Champions League to St James's Park. 500 bastard drones is going to be up in the sky. It promises to be some display up in the skies, and obviously War Flags already working on the display for the stands as well. Cannot wait for the atmosphere under the lights at St James's Park. Champions League against one of the best sides, one of the best, some of the best players in the entire planet. Yeah, so cannot fucking wait for that. We'll be back. We will have the preview up on the channel on Tuesday. And in the meantime, please hit that subscribe button to get us finally over this 2,000 barrier. I feel like I've been banging on about this for a little while. I hope everybody is okay. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.